Mr. Tenderism is in tender trouble. There are a total of 4 trademark applications pending for the word tendernism.
This new update is proving there's something very scandalous and shady going on behind the old man's back. In our last
I've been telling you that, Flacco.
video, we discussed how Keith Lee went to Destination Smokehouse to do a food review. At the end of the food review, he tried to link up with this old man from the viral videos. However, he couldn't meet up with the old man. Keith Lee documented himself going to the bank, pulling out a couple of $1,000s, then going back to the restaurant to give it to the old man, Walter. However, he was turned away, and he documented the entire thing. And this interaction at the end of the Keith Lee video brought a lot of hate and backlash to this restaurant.
A lot of spices and flavors, 8 out of 10. For me, the standout is absolutely the oxtail. But past the oxtail, the standout is unk. Not only, in my opinion, is it extremely hard to get people engaged like that, to show your true personality, to be yourself, no matter how fast things take off in the space. I don't think he intended for it to go the way it's going. I think he just wants to show his love of food and his love of what it is that he's doing. I'm personally taking $5,000 out of my own bank, and we going to say happy holidays to Unc. So, update. We could not get to Unc. Security said it was over with for the day. They said that he was filming something. I believe he was filming a podcast. We had $5,000 in cash, or $4,000 in cash that we was gonna give him a hand. They didn't take it, so we're not only gonna take this money and feed some people, but we just gonna do what we feel like we're supposed to do in the community. And as always, after this, I pray and hope that they continue to reach their target audience. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe.
Obviously, Keith Lee fans were upset that Keith Lee never got to meet the old man. They thought the restaurant was not hospitable to Keith Lee. So that was one set of the backlash.
That's because Mr. Tenderism don't got no black people around him, and nobody in the restaurant knew who Keith Lee was when he came in there to get him money. They was like, look, black man, go stand over there.
Other side of the backlash came from people who found out for the first time through this Keith Lee video this restaurant was not black owned. That led to think pieces on social media.
Finding out that Tendernism destination was not black owned was not on my bingo card in 2025. Especially people that talk about, well, me, as somebody that talks about generational trauma and reparations. For everybody saying, I don't see the problem with it. The fact that this man was able to grow a business is exactly what slaves did in this country. We picked cotton, we made the US billions, and then they gave us our freedom, and now we're still fighting for reparations in 2025, while every other nationality that has ever been wronged in this country has pretty much received some type of reparation.
In my original video,
that's true for then, but right now, Mr. Tenderism has all the choices in the world. And he chose slavery, not slavery, but he chose to work with this white man.
Completely dismissed what she was saying. I called it nonsense, hogwash. Like, you don't, like Jared Fogle isn't old ownership because Jared Fogle did a masterful commercial for Subway. Jake from State Farm isn't old ownership from State Farm. When you do a successful commercial and become a face of a brand, you aren't really old ownership of that particular brand. No. That was my mindset. Now, ever since I found out a little bit more, I found out that,
You found out how they're using them. It's a little bit more to just, him being the face of the brand.
The recipe that they're using and the ingredients is actually Walter's recipe.
What did you think it wasn't? That I knew. That I knew.
For all the smokehouses. So if it's his recipe, I think ownership is deserved. They even came out and said they gave Walter ownership. But some more information
Allegedly
has came out ever since, and I must say, man, I gotta stop jumping to conclusions because something very shady is going on here.
I told you that, Flacco. You wasn't listening. I told you when they had, especially the most recent one where they had him at the table and he was looking like he was a clone or something, like he was stuck. He didn't know what to say, like he was kidnapped before.
Say I owe a humble apology to all the people in the comment section who I call lunatics and unemployed weirdos, who was brave enough to say something that's going on here is making me uncomfortable.
Thank you, Flacco. I accept your apology, but if you really look close, you'd have seen it.
And my discernment is telling me that something is up, and I don't know what, but I just feel uncomfortable. I was wrong for saying y'all are crazy because the new information that has surfaced, y'all are 100% right to feel uneasy because I felt uneasy after learning this new information. So in their response to Keith Lee, the restaurant and Walter and like everybody came out and said the Walter is an owner. that he's the owner of the restaurant. Keith Lee don't need to feel sorry for him. He don't need $4,000.
Now he an owner. Now he an owner.
He's an owner. He got big money. They was gassing up Walter and saying, yo, you are an owner of the restaurant. So I felt good for the old.
He's like, I'm owner.
But the new information to come out would actually say the contrary.
So that's basically what I was doing.
And he didn't tell you who he was.
He didn't tell me who he was at first.
He checked in with Willie D.
He didn't tell me. So when he walked up, he told Gio.
And Gio didn't know.
And Gio didn't know. Right. When he came to me, he said, hey,
Look at
I
Tenderism.
got this amount of money. I'm not going to disclose it. He said, I got this amount of money I want to give to to ask a couple of questions. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, man, he's just like 8,000 people that comes in here want to talk to Hey, bro, they busy right now doing something. I told them what they was doing. And, at first he was a little pushy about it. I was like, look, I don't know how long he's going to be. If you guys want to wait, you can. But, I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but he's doing something right now, bro. I'm not going to go get him for a couple of questions.
Oh,
so he the dude that turned down Keith Lee? You don't know who Keith Lee is? Y'all in the food business and y'all don't know who Keith Lee is?
I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but he's doing something right now, bro. I'm not going to go get him for a couple of questions.
Oh, so you gave Keith the opportunity, the option to wait, and he decided to leave?
Yeah, because I told him, I said, I don't know how long he's going to be, but if you want to wait, you can. That's fine.
You should have brought him in there on the podcast. It would have been the best thing you ever did.
Oh, okay. I get it.
There were some circumstances that happened after the fact with other people that he talked to.
Oh, shut up.
That opened our eyes up to why he probably felt the way that he did. Even the way that he approached it, he didn't ask for anybody else. There's a lot of people visible on social media to offer a tip to a business
Mr. Tenderism got his head on the desk like he in an after-school program, like he in detention.
owner was crazy. That was the other thing too, is like he really thinks Walt is like this helpless guy who needs his help. How are you going to tip a business owner? Tip the whole staff.
How you going to tip the owner? Tip the whole staff?
He was tipping the Tenderism. He said several times, is it the food or do I just like Tenderism? He was feeling the owner. He wanted to get the money to the owner.
So
I mean, to Mr. Tenderism, whatever his position may be.
That right there was confirmation that Walter is owner of the Destination Smokehouse. Well, an attorney did her research, and what she found out is Walter may be getting exploited and taken advantage of on the business side of things.
Maybe.
He don't got his ducks in a row.
Mr. Tenderism is in tender trouble. There are a total of 4 trademark applications pending for the word tendernism. And unfortunately, Mr. Tenderism is not an applicant on any of those applications.
I could have told you that as soon as I heard it was happening.
It's a red flag and something really wrong with that picture. Mr. Tenderism is literally his name and his catchphrase. So if you don't have an application in to own a trademark, but people around you do, that's a major problem. That's a major issue and a red flag that you should probably check. Because if people around you really love you, then they would help you apply. They won't be applying to own it for themselves.
Now, I'm Attorney Candace. Let's talk about what we can do to help save Mr. Tenderism's brand.
Save Mr. Tenderism.
So he doesn't end up like Aunt She Mama. Remember Aunt She Mama on the syrup? She never...
Was Aunt Your Mama a real person? Or was Uncle Ben a real person? Or was it just a general black face? Because she certainly changed over the years. Last time I seen her before they took her off the box, she was kind of young. She was kind of hot. She was kind of thick when you look at her for real.
Credit. Now, just as a recap for people who may not know Mr. Tenderism, he got his fame here on TikTok after doing videos showing his barbecue falling right off the bone, and he would say the word Tenderism. All right, check it out.
I'm telling y'all about tenderness. But I'm saying, do that look like?
Now, social media has recently been in an uproar because the public has discovered Kenneth L. Harris has filed a trademark for the word tenderism.
He's a black attorney. He has nothing to do with Walter. He has nothing to do with tenderism. Yet he has a trademark.
Tenderism, Flacco.
Now, I don't know if he gave a statement or if people are just making this up. But what's going around is people are saying that he has stated that he filed the trademark so he could hold it for Walter, which I'm like, yeah, all right, buddy. Right, like, put that next to the bridge you're trying to sell us. All right. But, yeah, he has nothing to do with Destination Smokehouse. He's just an independent attorney who filed for this trademark.
And so the public is feeling like, hey, someone's trying to steal Mr. Tendernism's brand.
Everybody,
now,
apparently it's like 3 people.
Mr. Harris did make a statement on TikTok basically saying he's a black man. He wasn't trying to steal Tendernism, but he knew or he feared that other people would try to steal it. So he trademarked it first. He's an attorney. Mr. Kenneth Harris is an attorney. He trademarked it first. He's been trying to get in contact with Mr. Tendernism to transfer over ownership.
He at work every day. Go up there. Oh yeah, but they may not let you talk to him like Keith Lee. He got 4 security guards. Just be like, I got your trademark, Mr. Tenderism. You think he might stop then?
To him, but he's been unsuccessful. Now, the other thing is, when I did my little deep dive in legal research, Kenneth is not the only one who has filed a trademark. Now, Mr. Harris filed his trademark for the word tenderism in 2 different classes. He filed that as early as November 16th, 2025. But subsequently, we have a whole separate person who has filed for a trademark. And guess who that is?
Who it is?
Now, we've all heard of the restaurant Destination Smokehouse. But when you check the trademark records, there's a separate company called Diamond Smokehouse who filed subsequent trademarks after attorney Kenneth Harris.
Now, who's that?
Now, follow this.
Who's Diamond?
White folks are brilliant, bruh. So, Walter is now going around thinking he's an owner of Destination Smokehouse, right?
But
he
Diamond
has
Smokehouse
some
belongs to
ownership in Destination Smokehouse. However, the trademark was filed under another corporation called
Different Smokehouse.
Diamond Smokehouse, which we would assume Walter has no ownership in because Walter.
Exactly. I know. We would assume too. We don't know. This is allegedly. Maybe Walter owns some of Diamond Smokehouse too.
Isn't listed on any of the paperwork. What a lot of folks believe is they are letting Walter know, bro, you are an owner. This is your business too, under Destination Smokehouse. And they probably did that so Walter won't see any red flags when they go ahead and proceed to apply to own the trademark of Walter's name and his catchphrase, because Walter probably is under the assumption the trademark is being owned by the business that I have ownership in, not knowing that trademark was filed for another corporation that you have no stake in whatsoever.
And so inquiring minds are probably thinking, well, who is Diamond Smokehouse? Because the white boy we see on TikTok with Mr. Walt, Mr. Tenderism, his company is called Destination Smokehouse. But we do thorough research around here. So let's figure out who owns Diamond Smokehouse. Now, when I did my research on the California Secretary of State site, when you search Diamond Smokehouse, the owner, as you can see below, is Nicholas Yapriman. Okay. Now let's go search for Destination Smokehouse and see, is it the same owner? All right. So when you pull the formal paperwork for Destination Smokehouse, you can see the name at the top. In the section that says officers, you see the same name, Nicholas Yapirian. So we conclude that Diamond Smokehouse, who filed the trademark for Tenderism, is owned by Nicholas, who also owns Destination Smokehouse.
And is Mr. Tenderism on the regular Smokehouse? I almost said Outback Smokehouse. I don't know what that is, but it's Mr. Tenderism. Was his name on the original Destination Smokehouse too?
Tenderism is owned by Nicholas, who also owns Destination Smokehouse. Now, there are some statements going around on social media that, hey, Mr. Tenderism actually is a business owner with Nicholas, and he owns a portion of Destination Smokehouse. As you can see from the official paperwork, that is not true.
Oh, man. All a fraud. He's an owner. See? Boy, they tricky.
Mr. Tenderism, he's not listed on any of the formal paperwork. The only way he would have an ownership interest in the company is if they transferred ownership shares of the corporation to him, and it would have to be memorialized in writing, some type of contract. He would have to receive the shares, things like that. I'm willing to bet that has not happened. Now,
so he just saying he's an owner off the strength for the backlash. What he needs to do is just shut up. Nicholas, just needs to be quiet. Just be quiet. Let it blow over. People had already accepted, okay, Mr. Tenderism is not the owner, but he just wants to insert himself and say something. Just shut up.
The other thing that comes into play before we get to a resolution is this. The employee-employer relationship is always important when it comes to who owns the intellectual property.
Right.
Typically, when you work for an employer as their employee, what you produce in your day-to-day duties as a part of your employment belongs to the corporation, the employer. Okay. However, if you are an independent contractor, the same is not so. Now, from what I've seen in these videos, from what my intuition is saying, there is no employee-employer relationship. It looks like Mr. Tenderism is an independent contractor. And if that is the case, then Destination Smokehouse, Diamond Smokehouse, what are any of the Destination Smokehouse's affiliate companies, they have no ownership in Mr. Tenderism's intellectual property. None at all. He's an independent contractor. All right.
If he is an independent contractor, but they might pay him a check.
Obviously, we would need more facts and information to fully clarify that.
Wow, bruh. Now, worst case scenario here, I'm talking about worst case scenario, Walter owns nothing. Walter probably got like a revenue share. He got a percentage of the revenue, for example.
Or he got his regular check, and it's probably not all that.
A 20% revenue share is not the same as 20% ownership in a business. Like, for example, if let's say, I don't know, I get like an editor, right? And I tell the editor, hey, I'll give you 20% of the business revenue. He has a 20% revenue share. Now, he might go around saying, man, I'm not no employee. I get a percentage of the revenue. Nah, I'm an owner. You're not an owner. You have percentage of the revenue. So I think Walter, probably not knowing any better, is getting revenue share and thinking he's the owner. When they look at the paperwork, no, buddy, like you're nowhere to be. No, sorry, buddy, is not that. Okay, it's not that at all. Not only that, but them folks about to own your name, bro. You won't be able to call yourself Mr. Tenderism if you leave this corporation. Understand that, bro. Now, obviously, that's probably done to protect their business, right? Because
he would, but see, the thing is, he wouldn't have to say it. He would be it. He could just stomp and slap it. Let's say, for instance, he wanted to go off and start his own restaurant. He could just stomp and slam his glasses. People know who he is. People will call him Mr. Tenderism. He ain't got to say it. Let them try to have that white man do the do the Tenderism. See what happens.
So the way that Mr. Tenderism can protect his brand, regardless of the current trademarks that are filed for the word Tenderism, is he needs to copyright and trademark his likeness. Okay, just like we bought the Ain't She Mama syrup because the black woman was on that, a pretty wholesome looking black woman. It looked like she knew how to get down in the kitchen. The same way we bought that syrup because of her likeness being on the bottle, Mr. Tenderism could have the same effect.
Is that why we bought Aunt Your Mama? I thought we just bought Aunt Your Mama because that's all it was around back then. It was just the main syrup.
The difference is we want Mr. Tenderism to own it, okay? So the way he would protect his likeness and his image is to find his favorite photo of himself, something similar to this, where he got the hat on and everything and the mustache and all the things that we know him for, and copyright it and trademark it, right? And this way, this will solidify his particular brand regardless of the word Tenderism being going through a trademark fight right now. Because you know what? He could slap his photo of himself on any products and we would buy it because now we know, okay, this is his product. This is him. Okay. He can slap his photo on a logo for his own restaurant, just like KFC. Just like McDonald's, when we see KFC, when we see the old white man with the gray beard and all that, we know it's KFC, okay? And he could do the same thing with his own restaurant, and that is how he would save his brand.
Right now,
but also, he like 70 years old, man. Y'all got to understand. Listen, I agree that he's probably being exploited, but he also is probably in a position where it's not that important to him. If y'all feel so strongly about it, get with Mr. Tenderism, try to help him out. Maybe he got some family or something that don't like the situation, but he himself is apparently very comfortable. He like Mr. Nicholas.